This is Bev and welcome to the Path of Currency. Today's video I'm going to be doing 100 cemetery maps that are all 8 mod corrupt. I bought these from TFT for about 14 chaos each. And for my setup I am running Abyss Sextant, Beyond Sextant, Breach Sextant, and 25% magic pack size. Wasn't sure what to use so I just threw this one in because it can't hurt. For my scarabs I have Rust Breach, Gilded Reliquary, Gilded Div, and Polish Abyss. I didn't use Gilded Abyss because it didn't seem worth it. You just get a Spire, and I'm not picking up the belts, so we'll see how well Abyss works. As for my Atlas tree, I am experimenting with Wandering Path, and I have most of the Abyss nodes, I have all the Harvest nodes, and I have some slight Breach and slight Delirium investment. And I'm also testing these final map boss has a 16% chance to drop at invitation. I'm not sure if this is any invitation or just the cheap one, but we will find out. So I've tested these nodes and they suck. I unspec'd out of these after like 10 maps. And where did I put the points? I put the points into more breach investment. And I actually spec'd into the abyssal depth chance. This is because if an abyss has the depths, it will always go to 4 nodes. And since we can't guarantee 4 nodes with this because we are Wandering Path, this more depths means more abyss monsters to kill. So that's why I spec'd into this. And I also spec'd into more breach chance because breach was feeling really good. So I wanted more breaches in my map. On average, I would have around 3 breaches. It was 2 guaranteed and 60% for a third. Breach with Wandering Path actually feels pretty decent because of these nodes. Breaches in your map have 10% density. These all add up to 26%. So this is the final tree that I've decided on. I'm sure improvements could be made somewhere, but I enjoy this tree. I have 1 single Beyond Portal chance. You don't want to spawn the boss too early, but you do want to spawn the boss eventually. The boss drops a lot of tainted currencies, and also whenever I would kill the boss it would spit out like 8 to 10 uniques, so I did enjoy killing the boss. One final disclaimer for this is that you're going to need a very strong build. These maps were no joke. I have a decently strong build. I have no defenses, but I have a lot of damage, and I died a lot due to just how many monsters there were, especially on some of the bad mods. You can roll like your auras have no effect, or monsters have 70% attack speed. Those are some of the bad ones. So it's definitely scary running Wandering Path with 8 mod maps, but the loot is worth it. Alright, I've finished the 100 maps, and this is the loot result. So to start with, obviously the goal in Cemetary is to farm Brother's Stash and Brother's Gift. I got extremely lucky. I got 9 Brother's Gifts and 3 Brother's Stash. Since I got so lucky, I've edited the spreadsheet to make it appear less lucky. I flipped these, so I put 3 gift and 9 stash instead. But that's just for the spreadsheet, for making it not look so insane, because I think this was pretty lucky. As for the uniques, I dropped 3 jewels, a bunch of random uniques that are like, I only sell uniques that are more than 20C. So I have, notably, I got this belt, which is 39% more and 30% less. So this is a few divines. I've gotten 1 Dialas, and then I evolved a bunch of uniques. One thing you can do, since you're getting so many uniques, is you can just follow them and hope for something good. So this lightning coil, I got 1 max res, which is 2 divine. This soul mantle has 1 socket of gems. This one has projectiles. I got temp chains on Sedimas. This isn't that great, but it's like 30 chaos. I got power charges on a Black Sun. I got elemental weakness on my Chrome Spirit. And then I got some stuff in my Greed's Embrace. I dropped 1 tier 0 unique, a Divinarius. This is around 2 divines. It could have been a Headhunter or Mageblood, but it was a Divinarius. Overall, I made a decent amount of money with the unique. I'm not running any quantity on my gear. The only rarity I'm running is with my gold flask, which is a substantial amount of rarity. Other than that, nothing, just the map mods and the Gilded Scarab. As for scarabs, nothing too notable in here, just scarabs from the altars or from loot explosions. As for currency, I dropped 10 raw exalts and 8 raw divines. Everything else is bubblegum. I got 120 sextants, which is around 3 divines, so that's pretty nice. You do drop a lot of currency in these maps because they have so much quant and there's so many monsters. As for my life force, I dropped a decent amount, around 8 divine with a life force, so nothing to scoff at considering I didn't spend any money on harvest. And my map sustain, I dropped 243 city squares. And these do sell in bulk. I sold all the other ones for my other test, so I priced these at around 5k. Finally, I did get a divine altar, but that's pretty lucky, so I did not calculate that in, but that's 15 divines from the altar. And I also got an exalt altar. This is just uncalculated. I dropped Maloney's with 3 white sockets, and it duplicated from the altar, so I got 2 of them. I sold one for 2 divines, so it does sell, so that's another 4 divines from uniques. We can jump into excellence real quick. So excellence is going to show 24,000 chaos. As a reminder, I got really lucky on Brother's Gifts. I would not expect to make this much. My estimate is around 16,000 chaos, not 24,000 if you get average luck. I don't want to spend too much time in excellence because I made the spreadsheet which lists everything a lot easier to see. So as always, I have my expenses here and my revenue. So as you can see, I put in 3 Brothers Gift and 9 Brothers Stash, even though I got the opposite. That's around 18 divines from those cards. I've listed all of the just bubblegum stuff, so the life force, the general currency, and the values of uniques. I have underpriced uniques because I did not include any of the corruptions. This is just what excellence priced it at. And then I have my tainted currency here. So I made about 9 divines from tainted currency. And I paid around 2 divines for the sextants. So that was very much worth it. I have my unions here mostly for tracking purposes. 438 unions. I'll get into this later, but there's some math you can do with that. And then I just have my scarabs and my map returns here. So overall, was this strategy worth it? It was a huge return on investment. You can expect to make a lot of money. The one downside to this is that it takes a really long time to run these maps. I was dying a lot. The maps are really hard. The abyss takes forever. The strategy was fun though. There's a lot of loot explosions, just a lot of stuff dropping. It's a lot of just gameplay. I wasn't in my hideout that long because the maps would take so long, so you're always being efficient, as in not sitting around looking at your hideout. So if you scroll down here, I have some math. Basically, I spent a few maps taking a bit longer and counting where all of the cards came from to see if Abyss, if Breach was worth it. So how this chart works is this is the number of Abyss in my map. This is how many raw div cards Abyss dropped. And same with Breach, and same with the map. So what is a raw div card? A raw div card is any card that the map is able to drop. So I have all these cards here. These are all count as a raw div card. And I counted where the cards came from. So as you can see, most of the cards actually came from the map, about half. And then the rest came from the Abyss and Breach. And I put the time it takes to run these mechanics here, so I could figure out some averages. On average, for every Breach I opened, I would get around 2.2 cards. For every Abyss, I would get 2.3 cards, so Abyss was juicier. But you can see here, the average time for an Abyss was a lot longer. And finally, this chart is just something I made. All these weights are from Poor Fishwife from the Prohibited Library. These weights have been figured out from stack decks. So basically, Brother's Stash has a weight of 57, and the total map pool has a weight of 30,000. And I dropped 24 cards per map on average, so you can see in 100 maps, I should be expecting to get 4.7 Brother's Stash. I got 9, so I got almost double how much I was supposed to. So you can see that I got pretty lucky. So if you do this strategy and you do 100 maps, you should expect to get 4.7. So basically 5 rounding up. Also, I did not count duplicated cards in this, so if you duplicate your cards, you can get more. You should always take that into account. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Peace. I'll also be using Kirac Abyss, and here is the first map. So how I'm going to do this is obviously go in the mirror.
Oops, clumsy me.
I'm going to turn the sound down so you can hear me. Alright, so we are looking for the map boss first. And we want to pick up any altars that give quant. There's the Beyond boss already. Beyond's kind of weird, but you can usually make money back just on chromes and fusings. Here's the boss. It's always really fun. These maps might take a bit longer than usual because I have a lot of Abyss. I'm not sure how long Abyss is going to take since they reworked it. It does seem to be a bit faster, but it still takes a while. And since I'm not really focused on Breach, I can just open these and just try to go faster. They do stay open for a long time. Since I don't have any investment in chair or sextants, I don't have to worry about the hand. It does seem like Abyss still does a thing where it doesn't do anything. And our Deli mirror is gone, but that's fine. We're mostly just expecting Deli for Delirium Orbs. But we'll get some simulacrums as well. Unfortunately, no harvest in this map. And I think this is the last Abyss. I do have all the nodes at the top, so these Abyss should be shooting out a lot of monsters. We can go up in this breach. The goal is to not spend too long in these maps. And these are 8 mod wandering path maps, so I might be dying a bunch.
Understood power and risk.
I have my map favorites set to City Square, just because they're very easy to sell. and that is the map. I'm in my second map and I found a harvest. I just wanted to note a few things. As you can see, I have 61% quant from my altars, and I'm at 257 right now. Wandering Path Harvest is actually extremely good. Even though you don't get the notables, the amount of life force that the monsters drop is very high. So that was 500 from one plot, and this is not using the sextant. Part of this is due to an Atlas passive, which I will show you after I clear this. So as you can see right here, these small nodes have 20% chance, increased chance to contain tier 3 plants. This is the only way you can scale the amount of tier 3 plants in the game. So with Wandering Path, this is a double, which makes Harvest Wandering Path actually very viable. Along with Wandering Path increasing the quantity just from the top hat, I expect to make a decent amount from Harvest. And as before, I always go for whatever plot has more blue plants. And that's about it, because all the plants are worth about the same. Alright, from the harvest we made almost 2,500 juice. So that's very decent.